Which Android phone will win between the Samsung Galaxy S23 and the OnePlus 11? A Samsung Galaxy S23 versus OnePlus 11 face-off will be the first fight featuring phones released in 2023, as the two handsets look to top the best Android phones rankings. It could be a closer contest than you might imagine. In contrast, it looks like there will be just one version of the OnePlus 11, in other words, no Pro model from the upstart phone maker this time around. But that will allow OnePlus to focus on camera improvements and other enhancements in a phone that figures to be a lower-cost alternative to the Galaxy S23. The Galaxy S23 and OnePlus 11 could be available around the same time. Samsung is holding an Unpacked event on February 1st, where it's all but certain that the Galaxy S23 will make its debut. Meanwhile, the OnePlus 11 has already launched in China, and it's getting a global launch on February 7th. Pricing is a bit more of a mystery for both phones. We'd anticipate the Galaxy S23 would come in for around $799, the same debut price as the Galaxy S22. However, rising component costs could cause Samsung to raise the price of its phones. We just don't know at this point. We have a pretty good idea of how both new phones might look. In the case of the Galaxy S23, that's thanks to leaked renders of the upcoming phone. Our OnePlus 11 design insight comes directly from photos released by OnePlus itself. The OnePlus 11 features an entirely different design from the OnePlus 10, with the biggest change being a circular camera block in the upper left corner of the phone. The front looks more similar to the OnePlus 10, with curved edges and a camera punch hole in the upper left corner of the screen. The alert slider makes its triumphant return after OnePlus dropped the feature from the OnePlus 10T. It will be interesting to see how the Galaxy S23 and OnePlus 11 displays distinguish themselves. Both panels are likely to feature a 120Hz refresh rate similar to their predecessors. The OnePlus 11 can scale down to 1 Hz when action on the screen is static, giving it a possible edge over the Galaxy S23. If Samsung sticks with the S22 specs, the refresh rate on the Galaxy S23 will only drop down to 48 Hz. OnePlus could really gain some ground on Samsung, as we're not expecting big hardware changes with the Galaxy S23's cameras. That would put the S23 in line to feature a 50MP main camera, augmented by 12MP ultrawide and 10MP telephoto lenses. The latter would be capable of a 3x optical zoom. Hey, you want big camera changes? Check out the Galaxy S23 Ultra and its reported 200MP main sensor. The two phones should be evenly matched when it comes to performance. OnePlus has already confirmed that the OnePlus 11 is running on Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 silicon, introduced late last year. We'd expect the Galaxy S23 to also adopt the chipset. In fact, Samsung may dispense with its usual practice of having some models run on Qualcomm silicon and others use its own Exynos chips. One rumor suggests that every Galaxy S23 will feature the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, regardless of where in the world it's shipping. The Galaxy S23 is in line to get a slightly bigger battery compared to the S22, 3,900 mAh versus 3,700 mAh. That, coupled with the power savings from the new Snapdragon chipset, could boost battery life, which would be welcome given that the Galaxy S22 finished 2 hours behind the average smartphone on our battery test. There's talk of Samsung adding a light performance mode to eke out even more battery life from its new phones. Both phones are going to ship with Android 13 featuring their respective skins, One UI for the Galaxy S23 and OxygenOS for the OnePlus 11. Back in November, OnePlus said that select devices released this year would get 4 OS updates along with 5 years of security patches. That matches what Samsung offered with the Galaxy S22 and what we assume will continue with the Galaxy S23. Our Samsung Galaxy S23 versus OnePlus 11 showdown won't be decided until we have a chance to see both phones. In the case of the S23, that means waiting for Samsung's launch next month, while we're waiting for the OnePlus 11 to make its way out of China. At this stage, though, it seems like the Galaxy S23 will be the phone to beat, thanks to Samsung's track record with capable cameras. The key question is whether OnePlus can continue to reap dividends from its Hasselblad partnership to produce a camera phone that can keep pace with the Galaxy S23. The price of both the Galaxy S23 and OnePlus 11 also will play a big part in how we regard the two phones. It figures to be a very close competition. Stay tuned to see who wins.